Okay, hey. Alrighty, let's see what we've got and let's see what we're doing with it. All right. Okay, I'm going to take that to the new tab. I'm going to take that back to the new tab so I know where I am and I know what I'm doing. Okay, hey. Oh, and look at that. I didn't turn off the sound. Okay, so let's do that. There you go. There you go. Nerdy is third. All right, there you go. Raise your hands, kids. Who wants in? Because I'll bring you guys in, and I'll also direct you over to the group DM. How's that sound? I'm not sure how to get you to add yourselves to the group DM if you're allowed to do it at all. Sound good? Oh my, oh my, oh my. Two are watching right now. Boy, that went down in a big hurry. Okay, there's there. Oh, boy, moi. I don't know here. This is a whole mess. I'm trying to do this. I haven't done anything like this in a long time, so I forget how. Let's go over to the Twitter thing. And here we go with the after show. Okay, so I just put that out on the Twitter. Yeah, just did that. Day in the life. How's it looking? Five are watching. Okay. Who have we got in here? Four watching? Say something so I can see who you are. Yeah, let's see how it goes, huh? Oh my word, we're getting there slow but sure. I'm just learning how to do this all over again and going from there and stuff and things. All right, we're looking good. It's looking good. Five are watching. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, just say something. Ah, perfect. Scapegoat. Hello, something. How are you? Would you like to come in? I'll bring you in. Yeah, this will be just some fun, just talking about back and forth, and who knows how long we'll go and what we'll talk about. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't know if I know your Twitter handle if you have one. At the moment, it's kind of necessary to have one of those in order that I be able to send stuff to you. Oh my, yeah, and we're gonna see how it is. Let's see. Let's look at this. I have 579 subscripticators. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, as you will. And over here is where I'm going to start doing all the begging too. By the way, so I'll drive all of you off. Um, Please, would you guys tell me what you would like to see, or would what you would like to have me do, and what you would be willing to contribute for? Because right at the moment, one of the things, as I said earlier, that I want to do, I want to see if I can't offset the cost of transportation to and from dialysis. And if I go to and from each of the dialysis sessions that I've got coming up, we're talking about $250 in a month. So, if 300 of you would pledge $1 each, that should cover the cost. And yeah, I know I don't have 300 of you in here. I have only 6 of you. But we'll see what we can do. And the other thing I'm also going to be doing is I'm going to be talking to the various aid things. See if I can't get state aid for some of it. And try to get some of that government money. We'll do it. We'll take it. See what we can do. But I want to. I want to be a channel that is worth subscribing to and worth donating to and worth watching. And that's where you guys come in. That's where you guys come in. It's tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. I'll do what I can to do it. Okay. Let me look. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Well, we're getting there. It's gonna be a slow start. I know. Especially since I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know how I'm doing it. Am I going to have to put it in the? Am I going to have to put it in the side chat? I do have control over who I can let in. So if I know you, I can let you in, and if I don't know you, I can not necessarily let you in. We'll see how that goes. Okay, there's that. Skeptic Mafia, hi honey. Well, I have Medicare and an Aetna Advantage on top of it. Yeah, and they won't. They say that they help out with transportation. What they offer is a very limited number of trips at all. I think it's maybe 3 trips or something like that per season. And when I tried to take some of those trips, without fail, the person they sent out to me would call me about a half hour before I was supposed to be where I was going and say, I can't make it. So it's like having no assistance at all. And I've told these people that, and they don't give a shit, because it's something they don't necessarily have to pay for when we just quit using it. Were I a year older, I would have been able to easily sign up for this thing they call Access, which is a short bus, basically, that'll take you to the places you need to go. And if you're younger than 65, but on disability, they want to know that you cannot take the bus at all. And, well, I demonstrated that I was able to take the bus because I did take the bus home. It was just very, very hard on me. And that was in June. How would it be in January? Because I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as what they call a modality. When they say modality, they mean the kind of treatment that I'm looking for. So there's peritoneal dialysis, which is the hose into the gut where you pour ringer in there and then you sleep with it, and by osmosis you get all the stuff removed into the ringer, and then you drain it out in the morning. That requires that there be that hose into your gut, which means that there's a way for nasties to get in. And it limits some of the things you can do. I mean, I'd like to be able to hop into a swimming pool. I don't know that I would be able to anyway, but with the peritoneal dialysis, I would not be able to. With the hemodialysis, that's the one everybody thinks of, where you're sitting in a lazy boy recliner next to a machine that's, you're bleeding into the machine. And it's sending your blood through an exchange resin. And it's taking stuff out and then putting the blood back. That, you're a sealed unit, because you're putting needles into your arm to withdraw and replace the blood. So if you go in center, you just go there 3 times a week, 4 hours every time for the rest of your fucking life. Whereas, for the peritoneal dialysis, you're doing all of this at home, but keep in mind that you're also needing space to keep all the equipment and supplies that you're going to be using. And when you live in a Section 8 apartment, they don't necessarily let you have enough space for that. So that is a consideration. And then there's the other one. There's the home hemodialysis. But they tell me I need somebody there during the entire dialysis procedure. I need a spotter. I live alone, so I'd have to pay somebody to come in and do it. Because I certainly cannot count on anyone to do it for me. Nobody in this town. Oh, they tell me, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me? Yeah, but when I tell you, you answer with, well, no, I can't make it. I've got to go pick my nose. Okay? That's... No, I don't like it. Don't like it at all. And that's going to figure into what happens to me. If I cannot get by, I'm not going to. And if you want to view that as a threat, well, go ahead. It's not necessarily meant as a threat, it's meant as a statement of fact. But it's something you might want to take into consideration. Okay? Okay, 6 are watching. I'm just having a look over here into seeing what we've got. Well, this says, do I like my steak well done? I like my steak when it moves. Oh, my word. Okay, there's something on here that says Messicas. Oh, yay. Let's see what we have. We're going to put that over there. I guess I'm just going to have to... Nobody's going to do the work to look for me, so I'm going to have to do the work to look for them. Dupekista de pertopolekende. Okay. Yay. All right. Now we're just going to see what we can do. I mean, I'm just getting this started, so it's going to take a while to go. It's all right. Non-emergency medical transportation services. Huh. What, honey? What? There's a kitty who's tapping my shoulder. Well, tapping my elbow, really. She can't reach my shoulder. Let's look at this and see what we've got. We're going to open up a thingy-do. Okay, doctor needs to prescribe NEMT for medically necessary reasons. If coverage is approved, Medicare Part B will cover 80% of the Medicare approved amount for non-emergency ambulance services. Okay, learn more about Medicare transportation coverage. Yes, Medicare Part B may cover medically necessary transportation ordered by a doctor. Medicare Part A may cover emergency transportation. However, Medicare Part A and B do not cover non-emergency transportation to and from your doctor's office. And there's a lot of that ahead for me. And then there's this damn cat. Hey, I have an idea. Could I ride the cat? Could I put a saddle on you? Huh? And ride you to where I'm going? Well, okay, Minnesota transportation programs. There's the problem. I'm in Pennsylvania. And I'm going to be in Pennsylvania for a while. I know, I know. I know what you want me to do, and I know how you want me to do it, and I know when you want me to do it. It's too much. I'm right in the middle of stuff. I can't cut it off and start something new somewhere else in the middle of it. I can't. And I won't. If you guys decide you want to quit talking to me, then that's your decision. Um, okay. Let's see what we've got. Okay, we'll get that out of the way. No, Oh, what are we up? Oh, look at that. Hey, Jenny. How you doing, hon?
I'm okay. How are you?
Hey, a little bit this, a little bit that. Go for me, go for you. What am I talking about? I don't know.
I know we never know what you're talking about, Diana.
I never know. So, it's all kinds of stuff. This is my day off. So, I'm in better shape than I was yesterday, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's good. It's always good to be in better shape.
Yeah, let's see how I'm doing tomorrow. Because my dialysis days are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Uh huh.
And that's from about 0900 to 1300 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's about 4 hours for a session.
Wow.
And yeah, it takes up
I
all. What?
no, go ahead.
Yeah, it takes up all your time.
I had a friend who's like our age, and he went into kidney failure and was on dialysis for several years. But he eventually got a kidney, and now he's doing great.
Yeah, I'd like to be on a transplant list, but it's one of those things that I'm just going to have to fit that in where I can. It's I'm still talking to a lot of people about a lot of things, and transplant list is just one of those things.
Hmm.
I have a feeling that we're still going to be in the midst of setup in September. What the hell?
Well, it's a really fucked system, especially since there's so few people that will actually donate, even if they're dead.
Well, it amazes me that there were so many people who stepped forward and said, "Hey, Clarion, you need a kidney? I've got two." Um, I mean, I'm thinking, what am I worth? Am I worth somebody's kidney? I didn't think so, but I mean, Neil was the first one, and then many, many, much more followed suit.
Yeah,
About. Hmm?
I tried to get tested for my friend, and they said not with all the heart medications and stuff you're on. We can't. You're not qualified. I don't know what the words they used anymore, but they said I can't.
Yeah, I can imagine because one of the things kidneys do is regulate blood pressure, and I can imagine you gave up one of those being on the heart medication that would
But I got
really.
really good blood pressure. I do. It's 106/60.
Holy shit, man! Mine's through the roof.
yeah, when they told me you got high blood pressure, I took it seriously and I did all the things they said I have to do, and I still eat salt. They hate me.
Oh,
Don't it's about the salt, okay?
oh, no, I'm talking to the dietitian up there, and she's a really good person in the sense that there are many times that she has said, by the way, I didn't say this, but. And I kind of like it when a person says that, when a person is willing to speak off the record,
Yep.
because I'll take it for what it's worth and go from there. I'm not saying that she's allowing me to do anything I want, but there's a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
So,
I really like my main doctor, my internal medicine doctor. Um she's very respectful of me because and in her words, because she says you obviously studied your stuff, and you're very knowledgeable about it has to do with trans stuff, um, and pharmacology. And she says I will listen to what you have to say. She
mm,
ultimately has the decision, but she'll like I said, listen to what I say. And so far, she's gone the directions that I've recommended I want to go. So
yeah, and then there's the thing is, um, if I'm full of shit, tell me I'm full of shit and tell me why. Because if you tell me why, I'm willing to listen to you. If you simply tell me I don't like what you're saying, then that's another story.
yeah, just
Um,
trying to 80 on here.
oh, yay.
It's starting to rain outside. Oh boy.
Oh, my. I don't know what it's doing out there. I can't see because it's getting dark, and darkness obscures a lot of the stuff that's going on. I'm going to have a look at weather.com. There we are.
There, am I decent now?
You're decently decent. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you're not necessarily doing a stripper act over there. Oh my. All right. Here, allegedly, it's 79 degrees, mostly sunny, with a 1% probability of precipitation.
Yeah.
Maleki postoja.
Sorry, I guess I'm tired. I'm yawning a lot here.
Oh man, when I start yawning at dialysis, that's when they start watching me carefully.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because
What's going?
that's a sign of getting close to passing out.
Oh,
And yeah, that means they're withdrawing too much fluid. They're
oh,
still
okay.
they're still working on how much fluid to withdraw with each session, and it's
Uh-huh.
mainly trial and error, which is kind of
Yeah,
unfortunate because
that's all right.
da patrite. Yeah, I almost passed out on him when I was in the hospital. That was not fun.
So, where do they put your shunts? Like in the forearm, or?
Oh, okay. Right now, I have a catheter through the chest wall, and right above my heart is where it terminates.
Uh huh.
And they hook everything up to these little tubes here, and
Yeah.
they work from there. Um, and then, depending on the modality I select later, it would either be needles into the arm or it would be a line through the abdominal wall. Um, so I don't know when that's going to happen. They say they want that it should be done within 90 days, but it rarely is.
Yeah.
So, oh well,
if they could put the financing together, they want to plant a defibrillator in me, and that's just kind of a spooky concept.
Oy
I
vey.
mean, it's nowadays, and I'm not afraid of it. It's just such a weird thought to have a goddamn machine in your chest that can shock your heart whenever it thinks it should.
Do your eyes light up?
I would hope so. You know, I'd like to have lasers come blow out of my tits or something when that happens.
Well, yeah, that's the way it works. I like it. It works very, very well.
That would be.
Oh my. Let me. What do we have here? Oh, look who's here. Oh my. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing?
G'day, folks.
Yay. It's good to have you aboard. And what you up to?
Oh, just middle of a Saturday for me, so
Oh, you're
trying
on
to
the other side
take
of
it
the
easy.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh my. Well, thank
good
you
to see
for
some people streaming.
thank you.
I'm, I don't know you. I'm Jenny Morgan. Who are you?
You know me, Jenny. It's Sammy Jenkins.
Oh, okay. Well, it says 420.
I've,
I didn't. I
yeah,
didn't. I
I've,
didn't. I didn't know that.
this
Yes.
is my other channel that I upload to and stuff. I used to be Watchtower Watcher, but I've decided to broaden a little bit, and yeah, 420 atheist now. So
Well, I'm broadening a little bit. I actually put on about 5 pounds since I went into the hospital, and I have to watch that.
me too.
Yeah,
COVID,
I don't want to
COVID
gain.
will do that to you.
I don't want to gain back all the weight I lost because I lost about 70 pounds. Um,
Hmm.
I weighed 240 pounds, and it was not comfortable. I did not feel good. I was too heavy. I lost 70. So I was down to about 170, and now I'm up to about 178. And let's see if we can just cut it off right there and
Well,
fly.
obviously you've been picking out on all that good hospital food, and
Oh my! I'll tell you. Yeah, the stuff they would serve me. A couple of those meals, I'd rather eat cardboard.
I think you probably get just as much nutrition and flavor out of cardboard.
Yeah. Well, there was.
I figured something out finally that a lot of a lot of hospital food tastes like cardboard because we are exposed to it after we get out of surgery, for example. Well, that anesthesia just destroys your taste, sense of taste and sense of smell, and so everything tastes like crap until the anesthetic really wears off in about 48 hours.
This
Yeah.
is true, um, but I'm often a visitor, and I'll try the food, and it's just as fucking revolting. They were bringing my son. We've just come home from hospital, and it turns out he had a, a case of astrovirus.
You're all.
Which
I can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No,
Things
How's
got
that?
a little bit murky there, so I wasn't necessarily able to make out who was saying what.
Is that better?
Yes, it is actually.
Yes, we just got out of hospital, my 5-year-old son, and he had a case of what they call astrovirus,
Ooh.
which is a bad gastro thing, and it had set off his big freezer. So we wound up in hospital, and with gastro, vomiting, diarrhea, unable to eat much of anything, if anything, they were bringing him roast meals for lunch. Um, which you think, oh, that sounds fantastic, but you lift the lid off and it's like this dry little leathery piece of meat, and
Yes.
just all nastiness, and nothing on the plate was edible in any way. And they're giving this to sick people. It
That that
just
was yeah
boggles the mind.
that was one of the meals they gave me in hospital. It was a slice of what they called beef. I think they took it off the bottom of a shoe because it tasted like shoe leather, for fuck's sake,
Yeah.
and it was so
Were they
dry.
cans or a lesser shoe?
Yeah, pretty much. And I wasn't able to eat all of it. I really wasn't. It just turned my stomach. And oh well, what are you going to do? But the breakfasts were good. A bowl of Rice Krispies and a half pint of milk. Not bad, really. Good stuff. I like it. Couple pieces of French toast. That was yummy. And
Mm.
now I'm not sure if I could make the French toast here because okay, I would crack an egg into a bowl and pour some milk in and whisk it all together, and only a part of that would be used to make the French toast, and the rest of it would sit in the bowl, and I'd end up either throwing it away or frying it separately if I could, or something like that. And not necessarily something you want to do. Um, so what I may have to do is I may have to buy some French toast out of the freezer case. Okay, kid needs you, so that sounds good. We can do that. Yeah, but I'll see what they've got as far as French toast or waffles goes, and
Frozen waffles are amazingly good.
yeah, I
And my
can.
sister, she does this thing where she'll make, like, they'll have pancakes in the morning, and she'll make like a triple batch and fry up all these pancakes and then freeze those.
Okay,
And you can have pancakes in 2 minutes, and they're good. It's just quite surprising.
okay, so maybe I have to look into freezing my own pancakes. Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
doing something like that.
I've never done French toast, but I imagine it would be similar.
And I suppose that's something I could do for the transgendered chef. Put that out there, and okay,
Mhm.
here's how you make a pancake that's going to be frozen. I wouldn't mind. Um,
No, that would be a pancake that's going to transition to a state of rigidity.
yes, absolutely. Oh my, that's about the only thing that gets rigid around here anymore.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I
pretty
would.
much. Yeah, I like that. It's there's nothing that'll kill libido like HRT.
Yeah, I got some issues with it. Um,
Yeah, scapegoat Iscariot seems to like the idea. That would work. Frozen pancakes or French toast. And I've got plenty of those plastic bags here, so I can stick stuff in there, and I can freeze it and eat it later. Um, I bought a bunch of hamburger patties. I froze those, so that's a good dinner. Fry up a hamburger patty and chop it up onto a bunch of rabbit food. Ah, what do we have here? Hey, hi Lilith.
I can't see you yet, but I have way too much stuff up on my. Shut all this down. Oh, hello!
Hey, yay!
Hey!
I
Yay,
see.
it's been so long. How have you been?
Oh, I've had some interesting times. Yes.
Uh, yeah, I guess that's kind of a dumb question. So it's habit.
Yeah, come on over to my group DM while you're at it, if you don't mind. That's another place to talk to me. It's called Days in Diana's Life.
Days in Diana's life. Where is that here?
That's Twitter DM.
Twitter DM, Days in Diana's Life. Okay.
Yay.
Might have to add me, but I will obviously accept that right
Yeah,
away.
we can do that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Jenny.
Yeah.
Nice to meet
Hi.
you.
Likewise. Hi. I love your
Yeah,
hair color.
it's been a while
Thank
since you've
you.
been on my show. It's been a couple of years, hasn't it?
It has been. I was doing Peter's show, and I was doing a show with Renee, but he was a college student, so stupid idea. You know, he had to go do things, and yeah, life has been, what it is.
Oh my, yeah. Well, it's been a lot of what it is, to tell you the absolute truth. But it's
At least I'm in Canada.
yes, you've got it good. Oh my word. Because yeah, were I in your geography, I'd be
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, you probably would. And
What
that's
what what part of Canada?
British Columbia, Vancouver Island, actually. I'll see if I can.
So
Oh,
wait a
nice.
minute, you're not that far from Neil then.
No, actually, I saw Neil. Hi, Neil, when you get back. I went over the boat to go to an event. Randolph had planned. It was a round table with some different people, a couple of them from the ex-Muslim community. It was really quite interesting. This
Oh.
was, of course, before COVID and all of that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Now I've been in a relationship with Robert for a year, and we still can't see each other in the flesh.
Uh-huh, yes.
Frustrating, isn't it?
No. And I understand the border closure. There are some people I do not trust on your side, unfortunately.
Yes,
As no doubt
unfortunately.
you don't trust them either. But yeah.
I just met somebody like a month or so ago, and we haven't been able to get together. We're like 1,500 miles apart. But it's the logistics. We just can't figure out when she has open time and when I have open time.
Uh-huh.
And it's just
realized I turned up my grilled cheese too high.
Oops.
Oops. Oh, well, that's gonna have to be scrapped. Well, half of it's gonna have to be scrapped.
Well, I don't know. Did Jesus get burned into it, or what's going on?
No, the whole thing is burnt. It didn't give us a nice Jesus impression. I'll just scrape it off. It's fine. I'll have a nice big pickle with it.
Yeah, I tell you, I kind of wish that a distance relationship would work, but she won't have me, so. Everybody knows who I mean.
I admit, I have not stayed up to date on these things. Go lay down. I'm here taking care of my roommate's dog.
Oh
Come
my.
say hello to Diana. Come on.
Woof.
Yes. Who are you?
You is the wolf. Yes, you is the wolf.
Who is your wolf? Oh. I've had to get tough with him, though, because he was aggressive towards my cat this morning. So now it's like, she's smart. She's not going to get up. I think he's just, I asked Jordan, he's apparently been having bad dreams.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. Well,
That might be.
Hmm?
Sorry?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm dealing with that shit, too. It's stacks and stacks of nightmares.
Oh, fuck. That sucks. And is not at all surprising.
Nah.
How did Sylvia do while you were gone?
And
Diana.
say again?
How did Sylvia do while you were gone?
Oh, my word, she was so screwed up. When I got home, when Purple brought me home, she was hiding. And she remained in hiding for about a day. And then Purple had told me that when she got in, Sylvia was hiding from her. And I can imagine why. Because, okay, she knew something was wrong. She was all clingy with me and everything else. So she knew that I wasn't doing well. And then I disappeared. And I'm gone for 2 days.
Yeah.
So I can imagine she's thinking, what happened to the human? You know, did the human die or what? You know, and, well, actually, the human came damn near dying, but that's another story entirely. Um, but once she got accustomed to the fact that I was back and I wasn't going anywhere, she came back out, and oh God, she wouldn't shut up for a couple of days. She goes on.
Since it's telling you off is what I'm hearing.
Yes, absolutely.
How dare you? Do you know what you put me through?
I wish I could have taken her with me, but unfortunately, no, they wouldn't like that. And
No, of course not. Nothing that allows a little humanity.
yeah, it's that's what I was all about as far as the delay in going to hospital was. You know, I had the little one to take care of, and unfortunately, I had to take off for a couple of days, and I knew it was going to mess her up, and it sure did. But she's okay now. She's over in the cat cradle. Hmm?
Very adaptable.
Because let's see here. Let's see if I can do this. I want to see if I can't aim the.
Neil,
Yeah, there we are. Let's aim the appropriate camera here. And where are you? There's the little one.
aw,
Yeah.
where's Sleepy?
Yeah, you're on the air, honey.
I can't see this.
Yeah, she was in her cat cradle, and now she's at a place where I can't aim the camera. She's around a corner, and looking at me with, yeah, what do you want, human? You, come on up here.
That's the great thing about cats. We domesticated dogs. Cats domesticated us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They showed up in Egypt and said, "You have mice. This is convenient. I will remain if you worship me and only if you worship me. Otherwise, I'm going down the street."
Yeah.
They know the thing when they see it.
Oh my. We know who runs this household, let me tell you. Right, honey?
Oh.
Are you in charge here? What? She wants to meet a nice young Tom.
I have no doubt. What do cats use as a dating service? Is it just caterwauling down the neighborhood?
Pretty much. When the vet will take new patients, then the vet's going to have a new patient. But unfortunately, there are still the plague restrictions going on with that stuff.
Cats are the original streetwalkers.
Mm-hmm. Look who's here. Look who's here. Yeah, little one. Kittiness. Meow.
Meow. Meow.
Is you is the kitty. Is you is the cat. Yes, you is the kitty. And you is not fat. I'm insane. What? I don't have it down quite the way Purple did. Purple could keep her in her arms for a while with the appropriate scritching in the appropriate places.
Well, she probably didn't sing to her.
Yeah, there you go. This one starts singing when I start singing, and it's like, what's she doing? Telling me to shut up?
Or she's trying a duet.
There you
I feel
go.
like Annie Russell, my quartet singing isn't what it used to be.
Oh my, I miss that singing stuff. I really do. But unfortunately, a contrabass with a rack the size of a city bus just, doesn't make it. Doesn't work.
if the countertenors can take my fucking Mozart, you can sing anything you want, princess.
Is you
We
is the
established
king.
this.
Is you is the cat. Or what was the from Lawrence Welk? Was it? My grandfather's clock was too large for the shelf, so it stood 90 years on the floor. Oh man. Is
So, is
it?
there anybody in chat watching?
Is there anybody? I don't know. Did we chase them all away? Well, we've got 6 watching.
Who's all
Um,
out there?
Are we actually on YouTube?
yes, we is.
Oops.
Oops.
Hi.
I thought you knew. Oh, sorry about that.
It's fine. I probably would have just put on lip gloss or something like a human.
That's why I wore my fancy 90.
There you go. And
Very shiny.
not the one with the strategic open panels, huh?
No,
Not doing the special dance with the 10 scarves.
no. Yeah, no, I got rid of that one because I realized nobody really wants to look through those panels. You really don't want to see anything in there.
Oh shit! It's great. But yeah.
There's always someone who wants to look.
Yeah. Well, that's what Kate has said. It's if you're out there on YouTube, somebody is masturbating to you. It's something that I don't want to think about. Oh,
That's
man.
true. There's someone who finds everyone attractive, but at the same time, sometimes there's creepy someones, and I don't want to think about them.
Oh, jeez, I've had some unwanted attention, and no, it's not fun at all.
Nope. Well, like you said in that tweet, if you follow them back and they go, "Hey, beautiful," you're like, "Okay, creepy bot, block."
Yeah, and then there's
The creepy bot.
the cab driver who tried to put his hand up my skirt. That was good.
No.
Oh yeah. It was one of the unlicensed cab drivers here in Pittsburgh.
Jesus.
But he was making suggestions all the way home. I mean, have you ever been with a black man and all this other stuff like that? And sure enough, we get into the parking lot, and it's like, yeah, hey, you, put that hand where it belongs because you're going to get it broken. Okay.
Ever been with a black man? Why? Do they have penises?
I guess, I guess he thought he was something special. It's this 80-year-old guy, and number one, he was a guy. Okay, I'm telling him, okay, look, I'm lesbian. Okay, and then he's 80 years old, and I don't think he could have enough stamina for even me. And
Oh, he was that old?
yeah, allegedly he was 80 years old.
Oh, I was going to say you could.
So he's spending he's basically cab driving for Viagra at this point.
Basically, yes.
This is the goal. He wants the Viagra. This is how he pays for it.
Yeah.
I was going to say you could always cop to being too old for him, but if he's 80, then he's probably looking for you as a young kid.
There you go. I mean, 3 weeks I'll be 64.
Then
Yeah.
you can sing that song.
Say again, honey.
There you go. Going for a sugar daddy.
Sugar mommy. I'll take a sugar mommy, maybe. I don't want to be taken care of. That's the thing. I'd like to stand on my own.
I know. But to some degree, we all need, not like infantilizing to be taken care of, but we all need a hand up here and there.
Yeah.
I don't know. My idea of a partnership is more like shield brothers in battle. I'll take your side, you cover my back. We'll both help each other out of a rough situation now and again. Everybody gets taken care of when it needs, but not, nobody's like, oh, look at me, I am the helpless damsel. Save me.
Oh, jeez. No,
Imagine how often I've played that role in my life.
my hair is too fine for the Rapunzel bit. Nobody's climbing this golden stair. Well, it's more like
Mhm.
silver by now, but
You're afraid of slivers.
yeah, oh my word! But
I'm
it's
sorry, guys. That was too easy. I couldn't pass it up.
of course
You
not.
couldn't.
Oh, jeez. How you guys doing out there, huh? We still have it looks like 6. And
But who's out
Scapegoat,
there? I can't see the chat. I don't know who's out there.
Scapegoat Iscariot was just laughing like crazy. Um, let's see. Nerdy Rodent spoke of Jesus. And, well, we had Geo Sam. Are you still there, Sam? And we had Skeptic Mafia. Yeah, so, excuse me. I'm going to try to make a, hey, shoo! There we go, there we go. That's what I wanted. I was going to try to make a regular feature of this. Say
Getting
every,
people together and just
say every,
chatting.
yeah, say every Friday at 7 or something like that.
That sounds fun.
If anybody wants to come by, and maybe if I do it enough and enough people see it, they'll start to come by. And
That would be fun, actually. There's
yeah.
I got to do one show with Peter and a follow up with Joseph Nola. He's a Catholic priest who doesn't
Oh,
suck. You know.
I know Joseph. Yes,
Yeah.
I was think
Empathic guy.
I was thinking of inviting him on stream at some point. I know some people have interviewed him already.
Yep.
Atheistic Snail has, for example.
I have. Yeah.
You have,
And
okay.
yeah, it would be a second interview follow up. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like his reasons for believing seem to be more conceptual than anything, but he listens to people and he doesn't invalidate as if, an atheist couldn't possibly sincerely disbelieve. What's this? People with different thoughts from me? Which unfortunately is rare, especially with that Catholic priest doing his, questions to atheists video.
Oh,
The
Lord.
narcissist wearing the Franciscan monk robe or the bad imitation of a Franciscan monk robe.
Well,
That asshole.
the thing in Joseph's favor is that he's a Jesuit,
True.
and they are the intellectuals of the Catholic
Yes.
Church. So
He's got a good heart.
yes, he does. He and I have been able to talk back and forth without yelling at each other, and
I've never heard the words intelligent and Catholic Church in the same sentence before. That's pretty impressive.
it is impressive, definitely. The Society of Jesus has a little something going for it. Yeah, that was Ignatius Loyola founded that order and devoted to intellectualizing and stuff like that. And
Loyola, they're the ones that build those race cars, right?
yeah, yeah.
They tend to have a more nuanced and adult concept of God, certainly than evangelicals and than most of the Catholic Church even. Definitely something of a higher order, not just, magic man, go poof, shut up.
Yes.
I think organized religion's biggest problem today is the fact that they are not banding together, and I'm talking like Lutherans and Catholics and Presbyterians all getting together and pounding the damn evangelicals back into the cave they came from.
Oh, I wish. Well, the problem is a lot of the more extreme positions that evangelicals have taken up, the Catholics started. Pro-life was a Catholic thing.
Yes.
Everyone else, it's just, women and pregnancy and their doctors and Sometimes shit doesn't work.
Well,
Move on. Not your
the
business.
evangelists stand for today is hate. That's all they're about is hate.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, I speak well of Joseph Nola because he's a truly empathic person. But I mean, I'm in Canada and I realize in America, you probably don't watch our news. Yours takes up more than enough of your time. But things are coming to light now about residential schools where children, children,
I've been
taken
keeping
away.
up on that. Yes.
I got a
Yeah.
big question about that. You know, that is definitely getting talked about right now, and they're digging up bodies and all this stuff. But I remember hearing about this 30 years ago.
It ended, I think the last one ended in 1996. The last one closed then. It must have been servicing some rural area. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I remember 30 years ago them talking about these residential schools and murder and disappearing children and all kinds of stuff.
and the stories were told and they weren't acted on. And that's
Mhm.
the really sick thing. And then, of course, when this one band finally goes and gets like the machinery and the equipment, because that's available now to like look into the ground and, you know, find 250 children's bodies in Kamloops, BC. It's sick. And I'm disgusted, but I'm not surprised because the stories that had come out before that, the stories that I already knew in my white privilegedness of not even having had it taught in school, but just picked up from paying attention, you know, those kids were ripped away from their families to be sent to school to learn the white man's ways because screw whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
And it deliberately had their culture ripped away from them as much as possible. You couldn't have even, you know, a bit of jewelry from home. You couldn't wear anything of your clothes. You couldn't use your language. You couldn't have anything of your culture. And, you know, and these schools, 70% of them at least were run by the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And after what was uncovered in Massachusetts and Pennsylvania, it really shouldn't be fucking surprising how that turned out.
Right.
Bad! Very bad! Bad!
And even in the apology that was issued,
there wasn't.
Well, this is a different apology. This is the
Oh.
one that was issued in the Jubilee year for the
Right.
the South American incursions, and they post-fixed it with. But even so, these people were
Nonetheless.
silently awaiting the counsel of the church.
I remember Hitchens bringing that up on the
Yeah,
IQ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's true. And it's insane and sick that, like, they can't just say this was wrong.
Yeah.
We thought we were doing the right thing. We wanted to spread God. We clearly did this very, very wrong. We are sorry. They can't say it. Even if Pope Francis is something of a more sympathetic character than his predecessor, which is not saying much. Fucking Emperor Palpatine. Anyway. They can't say I was wrong. They can never admit fault. Hi, Neil.
Neil? What? Where?
Sam.
What'd you say, Neil?
Sam.
Same.
I'm Sam, not Neil.
He sounds a lot like Neil. No, he's the 420 atheist, not the 604 atheist.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were talking to the...
I got my numbers mixed up.
Oh, good. That is not an insult by any means. That's actually, I'm honored for you to call me Neil.
Neil is, he's definitely a big sweetie. He was the first one that came forward with, "Hey, Clarion, if you need a kidney, I've got two." So,
Yeah, but he's oh no, that's 404 is the end of the internet, isn't it? That's 604.
yeah, it's the end, definitely. But yeah, now that
We
you're
were
back,
mentioning him
Sam,
earlier.
Where does the 604 come from?
His area code.
Yeah, the area code.
Okay. Of course.
One of them, the oldest one.
But
Back in BC, you had one area code. 604 was that area code. Lo, this many a year ago.
yes, indeed. Oh my word! I remember when Ohio only had 4 area codes. Now they've got what, 9 or some shit like that.
Probably.
When I moved from Milwaukee to Minnesota, I kept my phone, and so I still have that area code.
Yeah, I'm thinking of dropping one of my phone lines because I really don't use it, and it might save me $25. That would be a round trip to and from dialysis.
It would be something.
Yeah, as far as that goes. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to be doing with that. It's
Wait.
somewhat likely that I may head for hemodialysis, which means I'd be going back and forth to a dialysis center and doing that for the rest of my damn life, or at least until I got a transplant.
You're on the list?
Not yet. I'm working at it. I want to find somebody to talk to over at the dialysis center that I can talk to about getting on the list, or do I have to talk to my nephrologist? If that has to be, then I'll do that.
Why don't you just call the National Kidney Foundation?
I can do that. See what they have to say.
With the right people.
Yeah, reach out and just, get on the list. There's no harm being there.
Can I ask,
Hmm?
is it as simple as, by as simple, this obviously still wouldn't be simple by any means, but if someone was willing and compatible and everything to give you a kidney, is it that simple that they'll just do that, or
Yes.
does that kidney have to go to the next person in line?
No.
Like, can someone opt to give their kidney?
You can specify who you give your kidney to.
Yeah,
if you're alive.
I was going to say, I think you can do that. A live donor can say, I want it to go to, Joe Schmo. And then they get you into surgery, and they get Joe into surgery, and it helps if you're in the same hospital, but if you're across the world, then they can do that too.
What's your blood type?
I am A plus.
Okay.
And of course, there's a lot more than simple blood type that goes on with tissue typing.
Of course, but that would be the first step.
Yes, it would.
So there's no point in someone who's B.
No, your kidney would kill me.
Yeah.
I'm O negative, and I think that's the one that can go to anybody.
I think that's the one. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and both my children have come out O negative, so when they're old enough, I'll be definitely pushing for them to donate blood and stuff, because apparently O negative is quite rare but very useful. So.
Yes, and that also means that we know we know Mama's blood type as well, because O and negative are both recessive.
Yeah, you'd have to have an O negative and an O negative to come out O negative, or you'd have to at least have the option in your genes on both sides. I think, like if their parents had been like O negative and A positive, and then the mother was A positive, but like had the O negative gene, but for them both to come out though, you're probably negative.
Yeah, which is it sounds strange, but O is so common because there are so many of them. It's not because it's dominant.
Really?
Well, just like 6 fingers is so rare because there are so few, even though 6 fingers is dominant.
Genetically dominant. Which is interesting that didn't like spread through the population more. Because it could be useful.
Yeah, population dynamics is really a bunch of fun. I like that.
Well, it was probably like left-handedness. Left-handedness was much more rare than it is today because in the ancient days they would kill left-handers
Uh huh.
because it was rare enough that they considered it like an evil demon kind of thing or something like that.
Well, even when
And
I was a
Yeah.
kid, they looked at it suspiciously. They thought it was not necessarily demonic, but well, sinister. I mean,
Sinister.
that's where the
yeah,
word
yeah.
comes from.
And
And
now today, of course, we know that left-handedness means you're a fascist.
there
So
you go. But I had two cousins who were left-handed, and they got the crap where they had their hands put behind their backs, and they were forced to use their right hands, and it didn't work. Really was a
Yeah.
big mess.
My father grew up in France, and he was left-handed, and they just got the cane. If the teacher saw them using their right hand, he'd just come up and wallop the right hand with the cane. Um,
Or the left.
so sorry, the left, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
my
yeah.
dad learned to write
that's just
with his
insane.
right hand,
How could
and
people get
later on in his life, he
that
could write
better?
with both hands at the same time.
Yeah, that's what happened to one of my cousins. Yeah, she became
And wound up
ambidextrous out of all of it.
ambidextrous. Yeah.
It's so superstitious. It's so silly and superstitious. Like I can understand. I remember a cartoon from when I was a kid. It's probably god awful Christian shit, but they had the whole armor of God thing, and they explained how, like in armies back in the day, when you had your sword and board, your shield had to go in your left hand because A, that would cover the heart, and B, they had to be uniform to form shield walls and whatever.
Yes.
Which at least that is something practical where, yeah, okay, sword in right, shield in left, heart is here. That makes sense that you would promote use in that way. But like writing, what? Satan
And if
is
you
not going to
think
get your
about it,
pen.
it goes back as far as the goddamn Bible. The Bible has God putting the sheep on his right side and the goats on his left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how that makes a left-handed person. Well, I suppose superstition, Middle Ages, and shit.
There goes the neighborhood. Stool's here.
Uh-oh.
Hey, sweetie.
Well,
Oh, man, I tell you, I burst into laughter in dialysis at the hospital, and everybody's looking at me, and it's like, what? Um, and my comment was, I had to explain it, but there's nothing in the world that can lift one's spirits like Stool and Kate antagonizing each other.
That would be a deadly couple, yes.
Oh, God, if you've tuned into my show at all when those two are on together, well, even watching Twitter, they'll go back and forth. It's beautiful. It's just
art.
art. Yes, art. It's wonderful. Yeah, Stool. We love you. God, I hate to
No,
admit that.
no, we don't love Stool. No, well, we
I'm near you a little.
kind of tolerate, isn't it?
Love the sinner, hate the sin. There we go.
Mm.
No, love the sin, hate the sinner.
Yeah. Oh my! Now all we need is Kate.
Still,
here.
I love you. I'm just teasing.
No, that's oh God, what is his name? Ted Haggard.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh my word! Yeah.
Love the sin, hate the sinner.
Is he still around?
He's out there.
I don't think he's doing much with his Jesus grift.
After a successful conversion therapy? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my. Let's see. Let's look up Ted Haggard and see what he's up
He's
to.
come to terms with being bisexual.
I think I've just came up with my first tattoo finally.
Oh my.
And what's that?
Love the sin, hate the sinner.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, if there is an evangelical church in a nutshell, that's got to be it. I got to tell Christy Stroop that.
Okay, from Wikipedia. In 2010, Haggard and his wife founded St. James Church in Colorado Springs. As of September 2018, Haggard continues to serve as founding pastor at St. James.
What?
So, I don't know.
But he was kicked out after the whole, snorting coke out of or meth, doing meth off a call boy. It was all very.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. That was in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the crystal meth and the rent boy.
I've always been impressed how the right wing can absolutely preach fire and brimstone for every kind of minor offense or criminal activity, and then support those people so heavily in their leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because it was never about sin. It was always about control. They want to be in power by any means necessary.
Yeah.
It's like the sex. It's about purity culture, because purity culture is just rape culture.
Yes.
With more Bible.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's about women as property. It's about the vagina being the only value in it being like a sealed something you buy at the grocery store, untampered with, and passing off women as ownership, as property. That's what it's about. And any deviation from that, whether through homosexuality or transgenderism or just having women with opinions and human rights and their own goddamn ideas,
Man,
is fucked with the system.
see, we just need to go back to the ancient Greek system. They respected their women. Their women had power. They loved anal sex, both men and women, with men and women. Mates did it for camaraderie. Women did it to keep their virginity for when they were married, because it was only the vaginal virginity that was important. So there was lots of, anal sex going on.
Baby way, so.
And
they didn't
there was
have
no such thing as gay or straight. It was, you were just people and you enjoyed yourself.
Back in the days when we were bonobo chimps.
Oh, my.
That's it.
Everyone.
Minus the shit flinging, maybe.
Yeah. And
But
we shave our bodies.
But some people do like that.
I don't know. But
No kink shaming.
For that.
The bonobos will have sex at the drop of a hat, and there are those who are known to drop a hat in order to engage in the sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quick learners.
Yeah,
it's actually a greeting.
It would take more than a cat for me to have sex with a bonobo. I'm sorry.
Could you imagine if we greeted each other the way they do?
No, I don't want to do that. I have standards.
Oh my. Yeah, let me see what I can add over here. We can add the people's is. Yeah, we can add you over here to the groups. So now there are 3 people's in the group. What am I talking about?
I have no idea.
Good. I
Twitter?
don't know either.
Oh, Chopper.
But you're part of the days of Diana's life. How do you like that, eh?
Woohoo!
Lilith? Yeah.
Lilith, I have to ask you, what was it like to date Adam?
Oh, he was completely pitiful, worthless. The kind of man who wants you to tell him it's big. You know what I mean? That kind of man. I tell you, I got rid of that. I got rid of it, and I am not going back to that ever again.
Oh
Well,
my.
good for you.
That was not a joyful time in my life.
Well, hey, come on to the dark side. We have cookies.
Indeed, the good cookies,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
20 cookies.
Oh my. Oh, we got a whole bunch of people here on the. Oh, I see your answer to me when you said, "Damn."
You know, weed is legal up here too.
Yeah, so they say. I don't know, man, but you guys don't want me. That's the problem.
Well, you just taking look. If we took every person who had like serious medical issues out of America, we wouldn't be able to afford the health care that they all needed.
That's right. And there you go. I understand. Yeah, but
It's
I know some people who were not, or they say anyway, they were not able to gain permanent residency because their daughter
You know
had.
about your healthcare system? Like, I've always been curious as to what, um, for your average Canadian, how much are they actually spending out of a given paycheck for their healthcare?
I don't know. It depends. Okay, it depends on the province. You gain your health care through the province, and everything's a bit different. There's a couple things that aren't really covered. Adult dental care and eye care isn't covered usually, and that's the problem. But like in BC, you pay a small amount if you can afford it. If I can't afford it's literally based on your income. If you can afford it, you pay in a small amount. If you can't, you don't pay. Everybody gets a card. Everybody's in the system. God,
Wow.
I'd have to look it up. Payment, BC healthcare payment. Pay your premiums, medical service plan. I have to look, because otherwise, MSP premiums are eliminated for January 2020. Coverage still mandatory. Premiums from before remain payable. Okay, so they did a thing. I don't actually know. I'm gonna have to ask someone. Is Joyce?
Okay.
Well, it could be
Joyce
dangerous.
is poor. What could be dangerous?
Asking.
Oh. Oh no, our government isn't spying on us to destroy us all or anything.
Oh, okay, that's a good thing.
We have
this idea that we should elect them to take care of us, and we still have some conservatives we have to deal with, but nothing like
Florida.
No.
You saw that one, didn't you? Where
God.
Florida passed the law where the public colleges have to register the students' political.
Right.
Yeah. I mean
that is so fucking illegal. There's so much stuff in the States that like just casual comments on TikTok have brought out to us that we're like, what the fuck? Like this one guy was like, if race doesn't matter, take it out of housing applications and credit applications. And all of Canada was like, you have that shit in your applications?
Yes, they do.
That's so illegal. Like, no bank in Canada can ask you your race. They can presumably see if it's obvious, but like, you're allowed to declare your status if you're Native or whatever. That's usually asked because there might be some programs associated with it. But like that for housing, you can't. It's illegal as fuck to ask your race here for stuff like that. I mean, you can't prevent people from being bigoted in person, but you can't. No.
when I ran my business, I was not allowed to ask an applicant of marital status, men or women,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and I wasn't allowed to ask their birthday either, what year they were born.
Oh, the year.
Yeah.
But
That's age
to figure out
discrimination.
once you on the resume they tell you when they graduated from college.
You can usually.
Yeah, unless they were some.
Well, unless they're, went for a late degree. My grandmother went to college when she was 50.
Yeah, I was similar. I went back to school when I was 35, so I was 39 when I got my BS in neuroscience. So,
Damn.
yeah, walking that back, you would think I was a lot younger than I am. Yeah, I wanted a PhD, but unfortunately, major depressive disorder got in the way.
Yeah, I can relate.
And I think that I kind of disappointed several people in the department, but like the chairman and like my faculty advisor, and well,
This is a bitch, and it happens, and you don't get to pick it. Nobody says, gee, life's going great. I think I'll have some major depressive disorder. That would just spice things up nicely.
and the funny thing is that that is exactly what I wanted to study. I wanted to study affective disorders, and guess what took me out? It was great.
Oh my God, they're becoming self-aware.
Uh-huh, yeah.
She's too smart. She's too smart. Take her out quick before she gets. It's like a going back in time. It's like a Terminator. Take her out before she becomes a problem. God.
And I loved academia. I really wish I could have made it because I loved that environment. But no, unfortunately.
It makes me so angry that the right wingers and the rest of the ignorati out there actually think things like people choose to be depressed, people choose to be trans. Yeah, I chose to be trans. That's a great idea. Or,
yeah.
It's so juvenile of a thought line.
If
I remember, yeah, a lot of people being taught that, and just like thinking through and thinking, under no circumstances is some 13-year-old kid in Alabama covered in zits and scared of his own shadow going to go, what would make my life so much better? I should be gay.
Yeah.
What I like to see happen is that we stop pointing at the right wing and saying, look, you're a fascist, look, you're a bigot, look, you're a hater, look, you're an evangelical, and say what it really is. Look, you're not smart enough to understand the complexity of human life. You are dumb. You are ignorant. You are a fool. That's what these people are. I don't care what
of that going on. Yeah, absolutely.
Idiots. They're just plain fucking idiots.
Well, and that's why they hate the intelligent people, and why they have the conspiracies about how the intelligent elites are all doing dirty things and it's so narcissistic because, especially looking at America, there are definitely conspiracies that happen, but they're for plain old money and power. It's not because Bill Gates has time to put microchips in you to see how many times you went to the Piggly Wiggly. That man has more money than God. He does not give a fuck about how many White Claw you bought last week.
Besides, your phone already does that for him.
Exactly. Nobody cares enough about you, Karen. Nobody cares.
Oh my! And I thought that was Jobs with the phone. Steve Jobs with the iPhones.
Well, yeah, but so
Well, wait a minute. Steve Jobs is no longer with us, is he?
Oh no, he died.
And there were certain privacy elements worked into Apple on a design level that I appreciate. That were not so much with the Windows.
Oh yeah.
But no, Bill Gates just spends his money being a philanthropist, so I don't care. He can be rich and just spend it on philanthropy if he wants.
Hey Bill, you want to spend a couple bucks on me? I won't complain. I might use your system more often.
New Xboxes for everybody.
Oh yay! I mean, one of my operating systems is a Windows 10 operating system, but only one of them is. And
You're,
I almost never use it.
you're playing with. You got several of them going at once.
I have two towers with two operating systems each.
Boy,
That
I wish I
is
could have
busy.
one tower.
Yeah, it's my my general purpose machine has the Windows on it, and then it has a Linux system, and then the broadcast system, the one I'm using right now, has two Linux systems on it. I've been using Linux for 22 years.
So you know it.
I know it. I like it. Yeah, I wouldn't be using it for 22 years if I didn't like it. And
It's true. I never really learned Linux, so
what I like about it is you can lift the hood, and you can get under the hood, and you can do shit.
it's old-fashioned like that.
Yeah, I used to maintain my own distribution. I wrote the operating system, and that was
Well,
fun.
aren't Apple's OS X and Linux pretty much kindred spirits because they're both based on and I
They're
forget the
both
name.
Unix type systems.
Yeah, Unix systems. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's
you can open the hood of the Mac operating system anytime you want to.
OS
You got
10 is basically NetBSD with a proprietary kernel.
Yeah.
And which is nice. I mean, I could write for Apple products if I wanted. Wow, you were down in the noise on that one, honey. Can we have that again?
You're still muted.
Yeah, I'm
There we
gonna have
go.
to grab my headphones. I think I'm picking up you guys speaking as well.
Fair enough.
So I'll grab my headset.
Technology is the answer to technology's problems.
Yeah, I was doing some cross-platform coding a few years back. I was coding for BSD and for Linux, and it's fun knowing the differences and knowing what you had to do differently for each one of them.
Yeah, I always thought BSD was the masochistic end of operating systems.
Yeah, pretty much. But excuse me, auto config and auto make did a pretty good job of handling most of the differences, and you just had to know a few of them, and it was okay.
I just want to be somebody's root. That's all.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Ah, okay, I kind of got that one. I'm not nearly as much of a computer nerd. I don't have a tower at all. I have a little.
I just have a phone. That's it. I don't even have
Well,
internet.
Yeah,
do you know, people like you, Diana, and Jenny, one of your biggest problems in finding people is you're too smart.
I hate to say it, but you're right. Yeah.
So smart.
No,
So
I
and men are often intimidated by smart women. Unfortunately.
Sammy, I just recently met somebody. It took 40 years, but I finally met somebody.
Oh, excellent. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm hoping it works.
Awesome. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, my
Dealing
big,
with
yeah,
Sorry?
my big problem is I'm too old. A lot of people just don't want the age difference. I never cared. I mean, I've been on both sides of that coin.
Yeah, well, the is just a kid. She's your age.
Who's just wait? What?
I said the woman I just met is just a kid to me. She's your age.
Oh, okay then. Okay. Now, the when I was officially married, my wife was 15 years older than I was, and then when I was unofficially with somebody, she was 13 years younger, and I didn't give a shit. But that was the least of our problems. But then, then there's somebody to whom 18 years and 2,400 miles makes a difference. And unfortunately, it's just the way it goes.
Sometimes it depends on.
I'm looking at you, Kate.
Sometimes it depends on when those things can be overcome. Not age, obviously. We are all whatever age we are, and that's what it is. It is what it is. But things like distance, they can mean different things to different people. Yeah. I'm looking at distance as incredibly irritating, but something with a foreseeable, expiration date. If this Delta variant doesn't go too crazy and we continue getting vaccination rates up in Canada, and there's actually a way to verify if someone's been vaccinated, then, we can have limited travel open and we can move forward on that. Like that's a thing with not an exact end date that is known, but a foreseeable end date that, you can make tentative plans around that. You can look at the trend. You can say, okay, I got to wait a little longer, but a little longer isn't going to turn into 10 years.
Yeah.
Is your person in the United States?
Texas.
Ooh.
I am dating a black man in Texas. I'm trying to get him to come up here so we can both have human rights.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Why was I thinking he was in Louisiana?
He has family in Louisiana.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah. So
the woman I'm involved with is in Kentucky.
Oh.
Home of Mitch McConnell and.
Oh, the turtle.
And the
turtle.
And inbreeding. It's.
Oh. Wait,
who's the turtle?
Kansas that had the ark.
Well, the turtle is Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the one who wants to block everything.
He's the ugly one with the frowny mouth that just his whole face just droops from his pouting mouth.
Yeah, so
retired based on
from what I've seen, he's a Republican who's a Democrat, basically.
No.
Because that nothing less would justify, nothing justifies, but nothing less would account for the way he has absolutely undercut every hope for anything to get better for his country in any way, as desperately as he can.
Now there is, in West Virginia, there is a Democrat who's really a Republican.
Yes.
And that is, that's Manchin.
Ah, Manchin. That's who I was mistaking. He's the one that's blocking
yes.
all the filibuster stuff.
Him and Chris.
I don't know why they allow him on the Democratic card at all. He's no fucking Democrat.
Well, they gotta treat him ginger right now because he could be even worse than he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
True, but it doesn't mean it doesn't suck.
You know what? If he's who he is, then there's dirt to be had on him. You know what? There's no point playing pretty politics. Find out his dirt, hold it over him, and make him dance to your tune. It's the only way to deal with men like that.
Well, my thought is
this is what the left are known for doing. The right need to
play
a little bit of
you got
the
it
left's
backwards.
game.
You got it backwards.
About left and right backwards.
Oh, I do too. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's what the right is known for doing, the conservatives. The left need to play that game a little bit more.
Yeah, and they won't for whatever reason. No, they'll just eat their own. I mean, with what they did to Al Franken, for example. I mean, we had a perfectly serviceable Democrat in the Senate from Missouri, not Missouri, from Minnesota,
Hmm.
and just over that thing. There was absolutely nothing from 40 years ago. They
And
sliced
the
it.
woman involved said she didn't want him to step down. She was satisfied with an apology. She just wanted it acknowledged. That's
Yeah,
it. Perfectly fine and reasonable to say, I want this acknowledged, and, yeah, okay, that was wrong, and, all of that. Fair enough. But they just threw him out. And he was actually, they could have really used him in the
yeah,
past 5 years.
yeah,
They needed him.
absolutely.
God, they needed him.
And this is why I say they eat their own, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
They haven't figured out how to overlook some of the things the way the right does. I mean, they'll overlook some egregious violations of ethics and everything else just to
Oh,
get what they
yeah.
want.
You guys, I have to excuse myself for a little bit. I'll be back as quick as I can.
I seen last night. It's a few days behind, but I've only just caught it. I think he was a army general, responding to that. Oh, what's his name? Is it Gates?
Yes, the one in
Was saying
Florida.
that about the army being too woke.
Yes. Ooh.
Um, this general's response was fantastic. I was quite moved actually, and surprised that someone so high up in American, whatever. I know not politics. He's in the military, but still the same
Yeah,
shit
he's
when
in a
you're that
seat of
high
power.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to defend the openness of the army and the fact that 40% of the army is minority, and
Mm-hmm.
they're proud that they're progressing faster than the rest of the country, and he
Man.
finds it despicable for people to attack the soldiers this way and the army this way, and he just put this guy in his place, and it was so fantastic to watch. I recommend anyone who hasn't saw that news clip go and check it out.
I think I need to watch that properly. I heard about it, but um, it's very much an old boys club. And I mean, the same thing with sports. Robert, obviously spoken of. He has a Gin and Truth, a podcast, and he was ranting about Carl Nassib because he just came out as gay.
Ah,
And
yeah.
he's big, beefy football players, like not your place kicker, skinny guy. No, like the, he, man, Hulk, man, muscle much. And for him to come out while he's still an active player is a big deal because it's breaking the stereotype of the game. And it's more than just the individual, though. It's the players that have got to come in on side and go to bat for him when someone else starts shit over it, which
Yes.
inevitably he will.
Yeah, I'd like to see it handled a little bit better than Jackie Robinson was handled, because there were still some problems with the black man breaking into baseball. I mean, the Dodgers were about the best team that you could ask for something like that, but they still weren't perfect.
No, of course not. And there's, sometimes there's just no winning for losing. Just, it feels insurmountable. And there's so many things that, like, as a child, I thought certain battles were already pretty much over, like the bulk of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like Nazis. Didn't anticipate half my neighbors becoming Nazis in the States there. Didn't really see that coming.
Oh my, I'll tell you, it's craziness. It really, really is. I don't have to go that far to find myself in the middle of a neo-Nazi rally. And yeah, it's the county next to us, Westmoreland County, is quite red, and they are the MAGA red, and they are also the swastika red. And yes, I know I'm never going to be monetized, but I'm not looking for it, so don't worry about it. Yeah, because you just don't say those words here on YouTube and expect to get any monetization. But if you guys feel like joining my Patreon and send me $1 or $2 and getting me to dialysis cheaper, then okay, we can do that. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
And can I just say, isn't it funny you can say this and not be demonetized? Fuck you, YouTube.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Dear YouTube, fuck your fascist protective policies.
Yeah. Like,
I said
hey,
fascist.
YouTube, have you ever heard of context?
Yeah.
Just because someone says a word, it's like I could say Nazis are bad. Doesn't matter. I said Nazis.
Well, I don't know
Like,
if you
where is the
remember.
fucking sense in that?
I don't know if you remember Skylar Fiction getting tossed off YouTube for just that. He was railing against hate speech, and he got tossed off for hate speech.
There's been the same sort of
Boggles.
thing on TikTok, even worse. There are people who will use the system to badger off anyone who calls them. In fact, and the Christian fascists have been going after anyone who criticizes them. There was about evangelical persecution porn, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was some fool on TikTok who did this video when Christianity is made illegal, and he, green screens himself sitting in a jail cell singing, some Christian thing about how he'll, always be so faithful to Jesus and everything. And there was a response to it that, has a few seconds of this, and it's a priest, I think an Anglican priest, but he did have the collar, who rolls up the bulletin that they give you when you, the little program bulletin when you go to church.
Yes.
And he stop it! And he hits the camera. You are not being persecuted. There are Christians who are persecuted, who get their heads cut off in Muslim countries, or who can't get to their churches because of Israeli blockades. You are not persecuted because you're not allowed to treat gays like shit anymore.
Uh-huh.
And they went after him like in real life, harassed the people he cares for, went to his work, like started leaving messages there. Like, they're not taking real criticism. They will go after people. They will threaten their lives and their livelihood and their loved ones. They are evangelical Christians are a fucking danger.
Yes, they are. Did you see what happened to Telltale recently?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Because
I was like, go to the FBI, report this. This is a hate crime. Literally a hate crime.
Because he wrote a letter to the school district saying, this teacher of my daughter is proselytizing in class, and there's no call for that. The entire community is sending him death threats, and he's afraid to go outside because somebody might kill him.
He moved. They were going to, too. They were going to shoot him. They were going to burn down his... I mean, I don't know. For all the people, they wouldn't act on it. It only takes one.
Right.
It only takes one talking shit to actually do something. And, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in he's in New York City now. So hopefully it's going to be a little bit better up there.
It definitely would be.
It's ironic too, because of all the atheists, he is one of the most gentle-hearted. He's totally let's work alongside sane Christians to tamp down extremists. His girlfriend's family is, I think they're Methodist or something. He's like, they're fine. They're just, they just love their neighbor and go to church. And that's great. I don't have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
He's former Jehovah's Witnesses, so he knows what he's talking about with the whole cult, And
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, actually. I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness myself, and about 2 years ago, at their, might have been 3 years ago, at their big convention that they have, they always put on dramas, video dramas for their rank and file to
Worst
watch.
convention ever.
Abso-fucking-lutely. So this whole thing, they're called the bunker videos, and essentially it was a group of witnesses hunkered down in a cellar whilst the world above went on rampaging, hunting down Jehovah's Witnesses.
Just
Um,
witnesses, because
just
witnesses
witnesses,
are
because
special snowflakes, and the whole world hates just them.
that's
Mhm.
right. And so this whole series of videos is them, you know, in the last few hours before armed people bust in and take them away. And then at the end of the convention, they release this big dramatic song where the footage of that is them being herded into a field and surrounded by like SWAT agents. And as the agents move in and lift their guns up, Jesus comes out of the clouds on his horse with a big bow and arrow.
Yeah.
No.
And
He's Kenny,
yeah,
what is it? Kenny Loggins? Did John Cedar say it was
yep.
right
Kenny
there,
Loggins.
Kenny Loggins riding in on his shining steed.
And I mean, like that's one aspect of the cultiness of it. But one thing that most people don't realize is that all the army of old Kenny Loggins type men you see riding in with him are the 144,000, which
The
is
anointed.
what they call the anointed on earth, which includes the governing body.
Yeah.
So they believe that before Armageddon, they alone will be raptured. So JWs do have a rapture.
Actually,
Any anointed still alive at Armageddon will be raptured up, and then they will slaughter everyone on earth. So these people are waiting to go to heaven to slaughter the entire population of the earth.
I
Tell
have a
me that
question.
is not a death cult,
Yeah, definite.
and
It's
that these people are not
crazy fucking death
extremists.
cult. But you know about Bottlegate, right?
Yep.
Yep. Tony Morris, one of the members of the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses. I watch John Cedar's channel, or what I guess now it's his real name, the Lloyd Evans channel, and Telltale, and they're both ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. And Tony Morris was found on a Sunday,
Yep.
instead of at meeting, buying thousands of dollars worth of Macallan's single malt scotch, like just hundreds of dollars, just stacked in a cartload, presumably for him and his wife. And
Oh no. He actually says his wife drinks something else.
no, you're right.
No.
You're right.
That was
no.
that was just for him. That was his drink.
The man has PTSD. He was is a soldier before this. But I was thinking, I think it was on Lloyd Evans' last channel or last episode of something, I commented because I was thinking maybe that's what it's for. Maybe that's the idea, that like he'll get raptured onto his horse with his McCallums and he's like hoping to breathe fire on the apostates. You know he's going for Lloyd. You know he's like
Yeah.
like breathe fire, which he probably could do anyway with the slightest spark at the moment. So
Mate, on their Wednesday governing body meeting, he would be saying, "Boys, Lloyd Evans is mine.
yeah.
Dibs on Lloyd Evans."
I'm heading to Europe. I got him in my sights.
Oh my!
And
That's
then
something I'm gonna have to-
then they'll go for men in tight pants.
Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Yeah, I know about that
Because
form-fitting
Yeah.
clothing thing.
you knew that homosexuals design them like that because they like to look at your genitals, Diana. Did you
Yeah.
know that?
Oh my! I'll tell you, they'd be a little bit confused there. Because, yeah, unfortunately, I was not able to afford any of the crotch surgery. So, well, I wasn't able to afford any of the surgery. I mean, this stuff up here comes off with my bra. And, you see one thing, you get another one.
Well,
Oh,
in
my.
fairness, Toni Morris is most obsessed with young men wearing tight pants
Mm.
because of the homosexual agenda, and not in any way because he feels very, very strange, tingly things when he sees so many men in tight pants.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, my
Not at
word.
all.
What did I walk into?
We're walking into men in tight pants here.
Okay.
We're men in tights. Yes, Diana, you know that
I
reference.
absolutely do. I love Mel Brooks.
Oh, I highly recommend if you haven't, you would have seen it, Lila, but Diana and Jenny, you'll get a good laugh. Pillowgate.
Oh,
Lloyd Evans's Pillowgate. So there's a secret video that's made only for like the elite witnesses who go to this place called Bethel. Um,
Ah,
and obviously a lot of sexual tension and all the rest of it that comes with being fundamental Christian. Um, and so they had to release this video. God knows what was going on at this place, but they had
I
to
think it's pretty.
describe scenarios for people like, so if you wear tight jeans and it rubs your genitals in such a way that you ejaculate, is that
oh,
masturbation?
oh, Lord.
And they're like,
It
well,
is.
if you let it happen, yes, it is. It's
Oh, wait
it's
a minute. This is a
pornea.
video?
Pornea, sorry. Yeah.
Pornea?
And um a male rubs himself against a pillow, but does not ejaculate. Is this pornea? Yes, it is. And
What are
all
Oh,
these,
they
my.
having to do with the women?
Is this a real film with serious intent or a
Where
comedy?
to
absolutely.
non-existent Jesus, it's a real thing.
What's the name
It's
again?
the initiation video, when they go to Bethel, which is where they print the literature and design, film the shows, and it's essentially the headquarters for Jehovah's Witnesses. So to go and serve at Bethel, you have to be,
You have to be extra special, and lots of young
yeah,
Jehovah's Witnesses go there hoping it'll cure them of the gay. So
yeah.
that helps. And of
Does
course,
is this out on the web somewhere? Can we see
It
it?
is, it is. Yep. If you just went to YouTube and typed in Pillowgate, it will come straight up.
Okay. All right.
Lloyd Evans is like the penultimate ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and he does video responses to all of their bullshit. So when Pillowgate came out, he was the one who, like, he does a breakdown of it. And of course, because he was actually an elder for a year, he knows all the coded language, so he can explain it to you. And oh God,
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
it's so funny.
Yeah.
Is that what?
What's despicable is for the female part, because there's a male video and a female video.
Oh, and then of course they don't even get a woman to talk to
It's
them. No.
like this 70-year-old dude.
There's no
Oh,
reason
Lord.
to be embarrassed about what we're going to talk about here, ladies. It's all perfectly natural. No!
None of this is natural. Not even your underwear.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Eek. Eek, eek, eek is all I can say. I can just say eek.
Oh,
Yes.
If
Hence why Jehovah's Witnesses come out so damaged.
oh, yeah.
I'm broken,
No.
and I work every day at trying to regain normalcy to my brain. It was only about 2 years ago that I actually completely broke my indoctrination. When I've not been a practicing or believing witness since I was 14, but didn't realize that I still had those moments of, did Satan trick me?
Yeah. Now, do you and
And
Notjaw,
that's the indoctrination.
do you and Notjaw work together?
We don't, unfortunately. We're good friends. We talk a lot, but I've my life has been so crazy with my child and his condition and trying to run a business that
Uh-huh.
I've not managed to get much content up at all. I've got a
Yeah.
little bit on my channel, and Notchad does want to work together, so we will at some point. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
Nutraz my
listening.
upside down sweetie.
I'll be
yeah,
And I think Mero gets a little jealous.
yeah.
But
He
he
is.
he
He's an
was so
absolute legend.
he sent me a little gift. He sent me a couple space pens. Um, and he knows how much I love the program and everything else like that. I just got them delivered a couple days ago, and
Right upside.
if you're looking upside down, sweetie, here they are. Yay! It's just too good to me.
Awesome.
All you people are just too good to me. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. How do I rate this shit? But
I know.
there's my
And
there's my plug. Okay, Scapegoat Iscariot was just looking for Telltale's video and thinks he had to take it down. The one on the minister chastising other Christians. I think I know the one because I think I watched that video.
Now, why
And
should something like that have to come down? Aren't people allowed to have opinions anymore?
no, not if
Fucking
it's the ruling party and they don't like your opinion. That was one of the things that came between Michael Jones and I, or not. I'm sorry, Michael Jones and me. Used the objective case for both, um, where
Chop.
he was the Christian who he kept telling everybody he wasn't a Christian. He really was, and he kept thinking that everybody was persecuting the Christians, and I'm the one saying no. The Christians were the ones telling everybody that we're in charge here. With all the crosses on display and all that other happy garbage. And yeah, we had a bit of a difference of opinion there, but the big difference of opinion was when they were telling me the psychiatrists were bullshit. Yeah,
What?
yeah. Unfortunately,
That is some Xenu shit.
yep. Unfortunately, they pulled that video down, so you can't go and see it. But I had, well, for a long time, about the only people that were watching his videos were my fans. So we had a lot of my fans there, and they were complaining. They were complaining about the thing about I'm a life coach and I know what I'm talking about, and I think psychiatry is crap. It's like no, I'm sorry. There were a bunch of us.
something that I've said on other shows is Americans need to remember that these people who came over on the Mayflower and supposedly founded this country in the name of white people
Uh-huh.
came from England not for religious freedom. They were kicked out of in England because they were a bunch of Puritans who
Yes.
annoyed the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
How uptight do you have to be for Britain to kick you the fuck out?
Well,
Yeah.
don't forget
Now
that
they're here
they
and
left
trying to get all of us out who are not like them.
they left
and
Britain and went to the Netherlands, and
They
the
actually
Netherlands asked
fled
them to
religious freedom.
leave.
They fled religious freedom. They didn't want it because their
Yeah.
kids were getting open-minded and turning into Dutch hipsters. So they ran away to somewhere where they could be exclusive and just absolutely tyrannical.
And when the Dutch ask you to leave, this is an indicator that you're not necessarily the most tolerant person in the world.
You have gone over the line when the Dutch ask you to. When you're too uptight for England and the Dutch tell you to fuck off, you are the problem.
Yes.
You are the problem. The problem is you. It's you. You've gone overboard. It's 100%. You're fucked in the head.
Oh my! I hope nobody broke themselves or anything like that. I heard something fall. Sounded
Oh,
like it hit the floor.
it did. It was the dog's bone. It's okay.
Okay then.
His dad is on this weekend, but this is around the time like he would expect him home by now. So he's getting antsy, and I'm like, I don't know how to tell you he's not going to be back for 2 days.
You do that very well, Jenny.
I've lived with dogs for 50 years. I'm used to them.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I'm kind of pissed off at what happened there, but that's another story entirely.
There's enough stuff in the world to get pissed off at. Legitimately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's no winning, seems. Come here.
I'm going to be bragging a little bit, and I'm going to say that nobody has tried to take Sylvia from me. But
Good.
we'll see how it goes.
I had to give up my dog. Last time I was sick, I had to be taken to the hospital by ambulance for heart issues. Not crazy. I self admit with that. No.
There you go.
But the last time I saw him, I was on the stretcher. They were wheeling me to the ambulance, and he was just standing there. Somebody was holding him. He was just scared to fucking death. You could see it in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That he was just feeling terror. And it's just, if I think about it too long, I'm going to just break down and start crying all over again. But it was so heartbreaking to have to do that.
Yeah.
And we never saw each other again because I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. So yeah, they put him. The police gave him to the Humane Society, who took care of him while I was there. But it was pretty clear that I couldn't take care of the dog dependably anymore.
So they found him a new home?
Yeah, and they really liked him. He was such a special dog. He was one of those dogs who didn't bark, who didn't give you any lip, would do what you say. He was very well trained, and so they promised they would find him a family with the big yard and fence and all that stuff. And I trust that they did because this is small town America. But I just miss him to death. My poor cubby.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, what you got happening over there, honey?
Bruce got his hands on a chocolate something in a bag, which fortunately it looks like, oh God, looks like he just had the bag. He didn't actually eat the chocolate. I hope.
Yeah, we don't necessarily want puppy having chocolate.
Only if you want him to have lots and lots of diarrhea.
I really don't want that.
No, that's a mess.
No, that.
What's really great is this one over here. She will apportion herself a tiny bit of the milk that's on my cereal, but nowhere near enough to cause any problems. She just has a taste of it, and that's enough. And thank you, human. And I'll just go off and do my thing now.
I thought milk was something you give to cats.
Adult kitties are lactose intolerant.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can get special lactose-free milk, but my cat has done the same thing where at the end of a cereal bowl, she'll just take a couple sips, nothing big,
Mm-hmm.
and then just go about her day. And thank you. That was tasty. We're good. Moving on.
The only difference is this one will go into the start of the cereal bowl. Yeah, she doesn't wait until I'm finished. No, it's like you move. I'm in here.
This is for me. You
Yeah.
can my leftovers, human.
You should see what she does to the chickie. Yeah, if I have a piece of chicken on my plate, she'll come in there and she'll take a damn bite out of it. Or my sandwich. You know, if I would have a sandwich while I'm sitting here she's taking bites out of the bread. You know, and it's like, okay.
Midnight once took a strip of chicken and then brought it back because it wasn't torn into small enough pieces for her.
Yeah.
To tear up the piece of chicken. It just was a long strip, and she's like, "This is too unwieldy. Fix it, human."
Now, yeah,
Man.
you tell me who's the owner in
Oh,
that
yeah,
situation.
absolutely. You
Oh,
don't.
cat.
You don't have a cat. The cat has you. I have been had by cats for oh my word. I would say a good 30 years.
I don't want anything that can't give me pleasure too.
Okay then.
My kitten.
I'm just gonna mute.
Yeah.
I won't say.
Good idea. Yeah. It's for the best.
My kitten came to me when I was with my worthless ex-husband, who I'm speaking about when anyone talks to me about or asks me about being married to Adam. And he was presumptively allergic to cats. He may have actually been, because my mother was allergic to cats and neither of them ever had a reaction to her. So she appears to be hypoallergenic somehow. I don't know how, but that's a thing. She's also, however, very reserved. She came to me as a stray, and I don't know what happened beforehand, but she's very scared of being grabbed or picked up. And it's been like 7 years. She's still.
Okay.
So I'm assuming she was dumped in a box and, near a vet clinic, because there were a couple near my house at that time.
This one I found wandering around behind my apartment building. First time I saw her, she was under a car. And there was this vaguely cat-shaped item under the car. It was like, me, me, me. But I couldn't get to her. So a couple days later, I'm taking the garbage out behind the building, and there she is wandering around in the. So it's like, do I? Don't I? Do I? Oh hell yeah! Run into the apartment, grab the last can of tuna, set it down in front of her. She shoves her face into it like she hasn't eaten in a week, and perhaps she hadn't. I'm guessing she was all 12 weeks old at the time, just by her weight and her general.
Aw, puppy dog.
Yeah, and took her a couple days to get used to me, but after that it was like, okay, yeah, I like it here. I'm not going anywhere.
Midnight came to my door at noon, oddly, and just she wouldn't leave near the door, but she wouldn't come in, and so I sort of left the door open and went inside and like, you can come in on your own terms, it's fine, because even then I could read her, whereas most people can't. But she spends most of her time just like chilling out on her own. She very much likes to hide somewhere. She has ripped the bottom out of my box spring so that she can hide inside my box spring.
Oh, yay. Now
Like, so what? Now I have to lay under my bed and try and stitch this? It's just that flimsy whatever they do for a dust layer. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's almost nothing, right. But Sylvia, she's been here in the apartment with the door open. And she looks at the door. She looks at me. Looks at the door. Looks at me. Hey, human, the door's open. You might want to close it. Because the one time when we first moved in here, the door was open and she went out. She went into the hallway. Looked up the hall, looked down the hall. Ran back in. Said, I'm not having any of this. So, it's like she's comfortable in here. And she's in the cat cradle right now, asleep. asleep as cats may be. I know she hears me. And
They never fully rest.
yeah, she's a good kitty. She's the bestest kitty. Every kitty that has had me has been the bestest kitty. I sometimes find myself calling her Miranda because she does remind me so much of my Miranda. Miranda and I were together for 15 years. She came to me when she was about 6 weeks old, and she died at the age of 15, Memorial Day of 2011.
Sorry.
And she was the most neurotic kitty I've ever known. She was a pain in my arse, but we were inseparable. The only place in the world she felt safe was in my lap. She was one of those, the people who take razor blades to themselves when they get under stress. Miranda was the cat version of that. She would claw at her neck when she was stressed out. So for 13 years of her kitty life, she had an open wound there because she was always stressed out. And what the weirdest ass thing was, when I went on HRT and I finally got the dosage adjusted to the point where it should be, she stopped.
Huh.
And I have to think that it had something to do with my HRT. And nobody I asked knew anything about that. I talked to several vets, including one at the Pittsburgh Zoo, who said she had never heard of anything like that. But, I mean, she was still safe in my lap, but she quit the clawing thing, and for the last 2 years of her life, she had fur on her neck. And, yeah. But
I'm glad that worked out. I don't know how to explain that. Either a hormone like sensitivity, or maybe just were you happier once you had sorted that out?
that's entirely possible. Because, yeah, I'd say I was.
The body odor changes dramatically.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah. Wow. Does it ever?
I admit that's not an experience I've had, so I will defer to your expertise.
Yeah, I mean, long enough on HRT, I smell more like you than I do like I used to.
Mm-hmm. It's a very it's a very indicative part of scent is a secondary sex characteristic,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which you don't really think about because it doesn't. It works on your hind brain much more than your,
Yeah.
we try with our forward brain to be like, oh, lavender, I'll get that. That smells relaxing, and then you don't notice it after a second. But yeah.
I love lavender.
Oh,
Well,
me
thank
too.
you.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, if I was there, I would make you my lavender lemonade.
That's why I
Oh, that
drink.
sounds lovely.
That's why I drink Earl Grey, because the bergamot is like lavender.
Mm. My parents at their home, they used to have lavender plants, and sometimes when they're blooming, I'd cut a bunch, and you do like 2 cups of sugar in boiling water, and you just jam all the lavender in there, and you leave it overnight. And you cover, so nothing gets in, and you have to strain it afterwards with like a cheesecloth or whatever. You leave it in the fridge overnight, or you can leave it on the counter as long as it's covered, and just let the sugar water just soak in the lavender flavor. And then you use that simple sugar syrup to make your lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, neat.
Add water as necessary, depending on sweetness and lemon levels and everything. And then you can even serve it with a garnish sprig of lavender and a little mint leaf if you want to be all fancy and impress the Joneses. But on the whole, it's quite easy to make.
Sounds tasty, and something I might want to try someday. But
It is.
we'll get stuff done, and then we'll figure out where we are and what we're doing. All I would need is the dietitian tell me I couldn't have it. I tell the dietitian, yeah, screw
They'd
you.
they'd be likely to complain about the sugar. I've never heard of a dietitian saying you couldn't have lavender.
Uh-huh. But yeah, it's the renal diet is very, very interesting. The rule is if you can eat it, you can't have it.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Oh my! And everybody I've talked to has been saying, yeah, the renal diet is creative cheating. I know you figure out what you can get away with, and what the hell.
Fair enough. Isn't that most of life?
Pre-
Figuring out what you can get away with.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yep. Sure the fuck is.
Ah,
I don't know. I don't know. How you guys in the side chat doing? You okay? We allegedly still have. Okay, we have 5 watching now. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, just keep coming by if you don't mind. I'm gonna try to do this every week, and
I'd like that.
yeah, Friday is a day off. I don't dialyze on Fridays, so I should have some time. Now I'm gonna have to go to bed pretty soon because I do dialyze tomorrow, and I need to be up at 6 a.m. to get myself out of here by 8:30 and to the dialysis center. Oh
It
my.
was the boat. Don't worry about it. It was the boat.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. And yeah, I just have to work on getting to the bus stop. Yesterday, I only had to stop to rest 9 times on the way from here to the bus stop. I do get winded, and that's one of the symptoms of kidney failure. You get
It's
winded.
understandable.
Yeah, you get winded very easily. And I don't know, maybe as things go, maybe I could get a little better as time goes on, but we'll see. I mean,
Baby steps.
I've only been on dialysis for 2 weeks, so not even two
Hopefully.
weeks really. Tomorrow it'll be 2 weeks.
Well, I hope that it improves things for you and that we can all gab soon. And who knows? Maybe just, I don't know. Maybe we'll play. I was going to say we'll play a card game, but we can't really do that properly. I don't know.
Well,
You can play poker.
there are some games you can play on a stream like this. I've been on streams where you play Quiplash, if you're familiar with that game.
Never played it.
You have
Uh,
a.
Humanity.
It's like Cards Against Humanity, yeah, where you start out with almost a question or something, and then you fill in an answer to it, and then you see you vote on whose answer was the best.
We could get some friends in the side chat to help with that.
Yeah, because Manda, Mama Atheist, introduced me to that stuff, and that's where I met Manda in the first place. And
That would be fun.
yeah, so
We need somebody to get a deck of playing cards and teach it enough about quantum entanglement so that you can have a deck of cards, and I can have a deck of cards, and we're thousands of miles away, but they're quantumly entangled so that we can shuffle them. They'll shuffle the same way, and then we can deal them out, and they'll deal out the same way, and so we can actually play cards at a distance.
Why aren't physicists working on what really matters? The importance of long distance quantum entangled.
yeah, absolutely.
I think about things,
It's all in line with current theory. I don't see why we can't do it.
I've played the Microsoft Pinochle and the Microsoft Spades, So you might or might not be able to use that as a basis for playing online. I don't know.
I mean, we could all shuffle and deal ourselves poker hands that we would not,
Oh, that
you
would
know,
be interesting, actually.
we'd have to all agree to be honest, because it'd be very easy to just, no, nothing going on here. Um, It'd be interesting because you could have doubles of the
Mhm.
same card. There isn't the limiting factor of
Yeah, we'd have to figure out rules to how to deal with a double situation, or
Yeah, huh?
handicap.
give the suits a rank.
Oh,
So what?
now you're playing bridge.
Ah, I don't know how to play that either.
Yeah, me either.
I used to play bridge years ago, and unfortunately, it's been like 30 years since I played.
Here's a word. See if anybody in the chat can trigger on this. Shopscoff.
Shop scoff?
Yeah, Shopscoff. Yeah, card game.
I asked up to that to looking to making.
It's pretty much played in Wisconsin and parts of Pennsylvania.
Did it come over from Germany long ago?
Yep.
Sounds like it.
Sheep's head is the translation.
Sheep's head?
Sheep's head. Yeah.
Oh, Schupskopf. Yeah. Okay.
Just play an
Well,
online
you
card
must have-
game.
You must have learned that in northern German, and here in the southern Germany we call it Schopskopf.
Yeah. I did learn the Northern German, indeed. Yeah, Sheep's Head card game rules. Here we go. What do we have here? Oh my! According
Anyways,
to
I've played two deck Sheep's Head. That's why I brought this all up. Because you when you play Sheep's Head, you take anything over a 7 is in the game. Everything under a 7 is out of the game. And so
Yeah.
it's, I think 32 cards or something like this.
yeah,
But in double deck Sheep's Head, which we only played with five handed. You have two decks and you meld them together and have a good time trying to figure it all out.
We still have my grandmother's canasta deck with her rules, which, there's the rules evolve in these types of games. And it's like 4 decks together at least. I'm pretty
my
sure.
God.
oh my word!
You're supposed to collect like 7 of a kind. Was it just 4 decks or was it more than that? Might have been 6 decks. I'm not 100% sure.
Excuse me.
My parents have it and the rules and the notations on the rules. And I still remember how to play it, but there would be no way to. It's very complicated and there's a lot of house rules and there's like 6 decks involved. So
I've always wanted to learn euchre and pinochle, and there was one other.
I've been informed I need to learn spades.
Okay.
Never played that.
I used to get confused a lot between spades and pinochle, because in spades you're not required to play trump, but in pinochle you are. If you're out of the suit that led, in pinochle you are required to play trump.
Yeah. See, in
And
my Sheep's Head circle, we eliminated the word trump and just call it asshole now.
Okay then. Yeah, I like the rules that I see over here. First the deck. Sheep's Head players never play with a full deck. A Sheep's Head deck consists of 32 cards. The 2 through 6 of all 4 suits are removed. And then
My
14
brother
cards are fixed trump. What?
My older brother and I played a lot, and we developed our own secret language, and eye movements and stuff to know what each other was up to.
Okay,
Because there's the rules of play, but then there's also the style of play. And if you
Yeah.
can master the style of play with somebody, you can absolutely dominate a game. And we would do that, except when we played my grandfather. He was so fucking good. He just devastated everybody all the time. Uh,
My wife and I played all kinds of pinochle. We would take entire weekends where we would go over to a friend's house. So we had the two couples playing double deck pinochle, four-handed, all fucking weekend. And yeah, that was an amazing thing for the 8 years that Sandra and I were married. Um, Probably spent more time over their house than we spent in our own bed, but that was another story entirely. Um, oh my, but that's yeah. I miss Pinochle, and I don't necessarily miss spades, but got some bad memories for spades.
I wonder if families still do that kind of shit. We would fall into, whether it was my mom's side of the family or my dad's side of the family, we would fall into, dinner presents, whatever, for Christmas or something, and then everybody falls into playing sheep's head for a few hours. And Thanksgiving, same thing would happen. A birthday party, a wedding reception. It would always happen.
Hey,
And I
folks,
just wonder
hi.
if other people do that nowadays.
This was fun. You'd have like whether it's bridge or canasta or like I play crib with my grandfather and my father, and oh god, we had the most perfect game of crib where it was the most amazing thing, where it was like down to where it actually matters who counts first. And he got to exactly the line, and I won. It was
Aw.
it was a pegging. He pegged just to the line, and then I counted over first, and it was the most perfect. We were like, this is like photo finish. You can't even you'll replicate that as long as you. It,
It's amazing how absolutely excited you can get in a silly card game. I mean, all
Yeah.
card games are, and just you feel so triumphant. I felt it too with Sheep's Head. It happens.
it was
We,
so fun though.
Yeah, my wife and I used to play shitloads of cribbage.
the hardest time I ever had playing Sheep's Head, I was playing with my brother, and we were playing two deck, five-handed, and I was on acid.
Oh
And I
no.
not keep up to the game. Oh no, it was so much fun. Oh God,
I do not want the cards to start talking to me.
that's exactly what was going on.
It's like being cool in Dragon Age. Nerd thing. It doesn't matter. But oh,
Yeah, what can I tell you? It's all weird shit.
humans are weird shit.
Yes, yes, we are. Oh my, wait a minute. This said, for a while, this has been saying started streaming 119 minutes ago. Okay, it says 2 hours ago. I'm just curious.
Since we have.
Oh, 2.5 hours. Okay, doing pretty well. Yeah, we might start to bring it to a close soon because, like I say,
Yeah,
be
no,
up
I
at
think you'll be able to.
I have to be up
Oh,
at 6.
And I
our
have to,
420 atheist is putting something up in the screen
It
here.
didn't work. I was trying to share something, but I'm on my phone and it just wants to share this app.
I got to get ready for
Just
moving.
Is it Jehovah's Witness app?
oh no,
Oh
the
yeah.
it's just showing the whatever this is, Google Hangouts or Zoom or whatever we're in. Um, I wanted to show. I just found something. We were talking about how dangerous fundamentalism can be, and I just found perfect examples here. On jw.org, they've got in an article, the main article on the homepage at the moment. Left to its own devices, the world could very likely face a global catastrophe, but that is not going to happen. Why? This is what the Bible says. God has established the earth on its foundation. It will not be moved from its place forever. The righteous will possess the earth and live forever on it. There will be abundance of grain on the earth, on the top of mountains it will overflow. These Bible teachings provide clear answers that mankind will not die off from pollution, lack of food or water, or a global pandemic. The world will not be destroyed in a nuclear holocaust. Why not? God is in control of our planet's future.
Because magic, bitch. Because magic.
Okay. At this point, I feel like blowing up the planet just to prove them wrong. You know?
Oh, and that's why these people, they don't care about pollution. They don't care about what they
Because God is going to save them and fuck the rest of you, dirty
Yeah,
heathens.
absolutely.
and how is that not dangerous?
Oh, it's dangerous as fuck, but you're preaching to the choir.
Mm,
I honestly cannot think of a single good thing in terms of world history and world development. I can't think of a single thing that religion has done for humans. Not one.
no. Even people who claim things like charity or this or that, they're all things that non-religious agencies can do as well. It's
Yes.
not a
Or
religious
did
thing to
first.
be charitable.
Egyptians had the first hospitals, I think. Uh, so they wanted to claim credit for everything good, but they
Mm,
are Johnny come latelys to every virtue possible, and they have to be dragged kicking and screaming into any form of progress. And there's always a few
yeah.
good progressive groups like the Quakers, but they're the minority. And they make their God good. Their God doesn't make them good.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
And they do a pretty shitty job of making their God good. I mean, if you hold to that book.
Most times, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
did you become an atheist? Well, I read the Bible, and
There you go.
That did it for me.
I will never forget that day in CCD class, Confraternity of Christian Doctrine. That's what they did to you when you were a Catholic kid in the public school system. You had to go for the extra religious stuff. And the teacher was going on about euthanasia the one day, and he's going up and down. You know, here's an old guy. He's terminally ill. He's in great pain. He's begging for the release of death. What do you do? And what do you do, kid? What do you do? And every one of them is, well, just keep him alive and keep him alive and keep him alive. And comes to me and says, well, I hate to see him suffer like that. And the guy literally screamed at me, "It's God's will!" And I'm looking up at him.
Fuck God.
God.
I'm thinking very loudly. I'm not saying it, but I'm thinking, what kind of God are you worshiping? And those were the first cracks that started appearing.
Absolutely.
yeah,
I was 10
It
or
was the
11
same
years
for
old
me.
at the time.
the God's
Yep.
will thing did it for me too. When I got old enough to really sit and listen to what those words were and what they meant, it's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
The biggest
about it.
downfall that the witnesses have is the fact that they study their Bible so much, and they make you study your Bible, which is partly why they've changed the Bible and created their own.
Uh-huh.
And also, you can only study the Bible with their Bible guides and publications. You can't turn to worldly scholars to see what they say about the Bible.
Oh,
So
no.
Oh, yeah.
it's all, but just reading the Bible alone by 10 and 11, I already couldn't understand how we were paying for Adam's sin.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't, give me a legitimate answer to that. And then when they would answer that, I'd say just simple things like, well, then when Christ died, didn't he take that sin away? So why are we still suffering?
Yep.
What did he bother dying for? Simple things. This is 10 and 11, and there's no clear answer.
There's no answer except
You
for
have to then turn into your doctrination and, the rhetoric to ignore what doesn't make sense. And
Yes.
I think because I was young enough, I just wasn't willing to do that. I was like, no, I want an answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want a fucking answer. And if you can't give me one, then I'm not going to believe it.
Oh, all answers are in Genesis.
Oh, my word. I do not. Well, he doesn't like me either, so that's. Because he blocked my ass a long time ago. 'Cause I was in one of his threads. I'm trying to remember it was Facebook or if it was Twitter, where we were
Oh,
going.
you're thinking Ken Ham?
Yeah, and we were going on about the whole evolution thing, and oh, it was Facebook because a Facebook friend of mine and I were very nicely discussing things with some of the Ken Ham minions, and we found ourselves blocked out of that thread. And the only thing we can think of is that we were starting to make, we were making sense, and some of Ken Ham's peoples were starting to see that we were making sense, and they were starting, oh yeah, maybe they've got a point. That's what he
Get
doesn't want.
away! In my first account, I got blocked by him on the first day. All I did was say, "Hey, Ken, how does it feel to lie to children for a living?"
Okay, then, boom.
Maybe I'll try that one. I've been trying to get banned, but I haven't succeeded yet. I don't get it.
Because
I
Ken Ham has blocked me. Ray Comfort has blocked me. Jay Warner Wallace has blocked me. I'm amazed
Nice.
that Frank.
Has Kent Hovind blocked you?
I'm amazed that he hasn't yet.
You know who you need?
What's her name?
Pastor Mark.
Say again?
Pastor Mark.
I don't know if I know this person.
You do. Just if I could remember his last name, it's Pastor Mark is his. Mark Driscoll.
The evangelical that hates gays.
Mark Driscoll.
Oh, no.
Oh, I know that name.
The evangelical that hates gays.
This asshole.
Yeah, he hasn't blocked me yet. I
He
figure
had
all I have
blocked
to do is say hello and he'll get rid of me.
Nah, I'll probably just have to say, yeah, Jesus never existed. Bite me.
Jesus was not a white man.
There you go. Yeah, we have.
Jesus was one of the colored ones.
And he was a socialist. Yay!
He-
He's a brown socialist who kept handing out free food and free health care to
7 hours
everybody.
ago, he posted, "The resurrection of Jesus Christ is the most significant event in the history of our planet." Oh, God.
The most significant event that never happened, perhaps.
I like. I spend a lot of time listening to Bart Ehrman's lectures, and his take on how Jesus became God is one of the things I dearly love to listen to.
And it's something I hold to myself. I believe that's very close to how things came about. In my lay opinion.
It's I really appreciate Bart Ehrman's work. I'm sort of an agnostic mythicist. I'm not a hardcore, but largely because of a lot of his work, it's sort of shaken me loose from many of the preconceptions and learning just how much that text was fucked with.
Oh,
My
yes,
God.
absolutely.
I mean, you think about the card shuffle maybe, but the details that you go to, like the gospel of the one that broke Jesus for me entirely. You take any Bible that's honest enough to have footnotes. You go to Luke in the Garden of Gethsemane. In the Garden of Gethsemane, when Jesus is on his knees, calling out to his Father, "Take this burden from me," suffering, going through, the agony of having to walk into this with his eyes open, presumably. And they fucked with it so that they would have a point against the Docetics. They added that bit about the sweat as drops of blood before the angel coming to him. They added that so that they would have a point to argue that the Docetic branch were heretics.
Mm-hmm.
They edited so they would have their side so that they could make some other idea heretical and anti-scripture.
Yeah.
If that, and that's by no means the only example, but for me, if that's what made it a straight con for me, because if you have an iota of genuine reverence for the character of Jesus and for what you think he went through, there's not a chance in hell that you would touch that moment.
Uh-huh.
If one drop of your blood was sincere in your faith, that moment, a sacred moment like that, you'd throw in some shit when he was walking around for something, maybe, but that, you wouldn't touch that moment.
Right.
You wouldn't touch it for anything.
And I can believe that an historical Jesus might have gone through that, because I can see the possible existence of an itinerant apocalyptic preacher wandering around Galilee. Okay, I'm not gonna discard that, and it's possible that he was saying that I am going to be your king and I am going to lead you, because I've got I've got a line right to God, and he and I are buddies. So he might be saying, I know that Rome is going to come and get me. Please, let me be delivered away from this if you can, Father. But it's something I have to do, so it's something I have to do. I can understand that. It's a possibility. What I don't, the magical Jesus. No, that person never existed in history. That's
I'm gonna have to take off.
Yeah, you've got movie night.
It's just a pleasure meeting you finally.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Jenny.
Well,
And,
just stick around on Fridays, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay, well, you take care of yourself tomorrow, and be careful on that bus ride and stuff.
Yay! Take care, honey.
Bye bye.
Oh, tell you
Love
what.
you.
Yay! Yeah, it is getting close to that hour. Maybe what I should do is start to wrap this up if nobody minds.
No, I have to return a call anyway, and yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll get my butt into bed and awake at hopefully awake and stay awake at 6, because like I say, I'll have to leave here at 8:30 in order to get to dialysis on time, and that's all kinds of fun. And no, it's not the way I like to spend my days, but I guess it's the way I'm going to spend my days for the foreseeable future anyway. Unless I decide to blow myself up.
You should, I don't know if this is a good idea, bad idea, completely inappropriate to even say, but I think it's a good idea personally. Why don't you start a dialysis stream?
I've thought of that, and the only thing I'd have to be careful of, they don't want any photography in the room.
Yeah.
So
No, of course not.
Yeah, it would have to be, if I could do it at all, aim it at me and have only that be on the screen, and they may or may not like that, because you're not the only person to suggest that.
Yeah.
And
It's worth putting to them. If they're a good hospital, they'd let you do something like that if they understood that.
Well, and if you have like one of those stands for your phone, and you can we'll put a block over the back camera so I can't video out and it's just facing me. Maybe something like that.
I would be doing it through a laptop, which was actually on my lap, and and making my legs go numb. Oh God. One of the people at the dialysis clinic offered to move my backpack for me. Tried to pick it up. What the hell is in this thing? It's so heavy. My backpack, my laptop is one of the heavier laptops out there. I mean, when you put it in my backpack, it's got to weigh 30 pounds. With that, and then with the Downard Wheat book, The Rocks Were There, if you've seen that book.
Oh,
Yeah, Purple and Sloth Girl gave me that book for Christmas. And
nice one.
yeah, I actually have to open it up and read more of it because so many other things get in the way. And then, of course, Jeff Strike bought me Evolution Slam Dunk and the fiction Paralogue of Phineas Fogg that RJ wrote, and so I've got to read that one too because I haven't finished it. So many books I've got started, and they're not.
There's something to do during dialysis. A book would probably be less weighty than a laptop, but
Oh my!
I,
Well, not by
I have
much.
to. Well, it depends on the book, I suppose. But my computer is dying here. I need to get
Ah,
it upstairs and plugged in. So I love you so much. Send me a message about next Friday, and
yay!
mwah,
Absolutely. Thank you for
hopefully
coming on. Thank you.
it was a pleasure to talk to you again, Diana. Really.
Oh, you
Mwah.
masochist.
Yeah, always fun.
And it's lovely to meet you too for 28 days.
You
Mwah.
too,
Okay.
Lila.
Adieu.
Oh,
Auf Wiedersehen.
auf
Bye.
Wiedersehen. Yay! And you, honey, yeah, it's Sam, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Sammy.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. It was great having you, really and truly. And yeah, we're just going to take care of some stuff and do some stuff. And let's see, where are we? Day in the life. There we are. Oh my. So I'm going to say I want to thank everybody who's here. I want to thank everybody who's not here. You guys keep me going. You really do. I'm doing this for you as long as I can, as long as I'm alive to do it. I'll keep doing it for you guys because I love you, every one of you, and it's a pleasure for me to make you smile if I can at all. And what I'll say then is thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.
Hoorah.